Yeah, what's good, y'all? Good afternoon. What is it? Thursday? Happy Thursday, y'all. Sorry, it's true. What are we at? Episode 18. I had to force time in between all the battle rap stuff, and we are gonna talk about some battle rapping here. But I had to sneak in one of my episodes because there's some topics that I want to get to, and I'm just like, man, listen, if I don't hop on these real quick and get some of these topics off my chest, we live now. If I don't get some of these topics off my chest, then I'm gonna forget about them as we in the middle of all this divide and conquer two stuff. So let me go ahead and get this going. Let me go ahead get this rocking. You dig? Shout out to everybody that's coming into the chat. I see y'all. What's going on out over here? Let me take a look. Jose Soto, RBE, salute ARP from Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn, all my BK fellas and all that. What we got here? Roach on Gangsters Wall. Where's the Mook and Big K face? So I'm probably gonna answer that before this live is over. What else we got? The Science said, salute from Orlando. I got 500 on Big K. Uh-oh. Can I pin any of these? Let me bring some of those in here. This man right here is looking for a bet, man. This man right here is looking for a bet. All your bushes like creeps. You ever been hit with an ARP Ruger? Is that Ruger from Chicago? Send me that. DM me or DM me on IG the link to that song. I want to check it out. I do fuck with Ruger though. I know who Ruger is, the artist from Chicago. I fuck with his shit. Treehouse. Chilling, homie. Salute back to you. Salute ARP. Appreciate you. Love from Toronto. Shout out to all my Toronto folks. King of the Dot and all that. Cash giveaway. Is that about the topic that's on the screen? Yeah, Ruger new music. All right, yeah. If Ruger got an ARP ball, man, send that to me, man. I fuck with Ruger. Oh man, what was that song that he had? I mean, he had a bunch of tracks, of course, but he had one, kind of like dedicated to FBG Duck. It was like the video was like red and all that. That shit, I forget the name of it, but it was crazy. Ruger could rap. I fuck with Ruger's music. You know what I had on this morning in the gym? What I had on this morning in the gym, and come on, man, what's wrong with my mouse? There we go. I already knew about dude. What is his name? EST Gee, or am I saying it backwards? GEST, whichever one it is. Where's he from? Anybody that knows EST Gee in the chat? I got Google right here. Let me not mess this up. What the hell? Is it EST Gee? Yes, EST Gee. Dark skin dude. I've been knew who he was because I heard him on some music before with Little Baby. I heard him on the new Jeezy or the last Jeezy mixtape that came out, the Snowfall shit. And that might be my best. That's my favorite mixtape that have came out in probably like the last. You know what? Let me not speak too soon because I'm on my music so heavy. But that Snowfall mixtape by Jeezy was crazy. But yeah, he's got some shit on that too. So I kind of been getting a little bit more familiar with EST Gee. And today, in the gym, I said, you know what? It says he's from Louisville, Kentucky. Okay. Kentucky he's from. Okay. I see the chat. Shout out to the chat. I threw on a playlist of him in the gym this morning. I said, oh shit. Yo, because I've just been hearing him in features. First of all, EST Gee could rap. He's not just one of these, guys that's cashing in on kind of like the trap and the ops type op this and op that hip hop that's going on right now. It's really much dominating the scene. It's like if you don't, I'll be feeling like rappers right now, they're walking into record labels or record labels is, saying like catching up with them and shit and be like, all right, first and foremost, let's see your Instagram following. Got Instagram following? Check. Let's check your Twitter. Check. Got any views on YouTube? All right, decent views? Check. Got a look to you? Got a story to you? Check. Do you have any ops? No ops? Nope, no deal. Because that's what everything's about these days. Who's your ops? I do this in my ops. I spit on my ops. It's a phase hip hop is in right now. We've had a million phases. This is one of them. Everybody's got ops. Even people that don't really have real beef with certain people, they call them their ops. Yeah, people are talking battle rap terms. This league or that battle or that team in battle rap is my ops. I mean, because you getting used too fucking freely. It's just like it's just watered down. It's like everybody. It's like people infatuated. You feel validated by having ops. It's like whatever happened to walking around and just being the cool guy that don't have enemies. Like there's nothing wrong with that, people. You don't have to have ops to be cool anymore. Like the fuck, that shit kills me. But anyway, um, yeah, EST Gee, he could rap. He could really, really rap. I had his playlist on this morning in the gym. He's got some real tough music, man. There's a video with him. Cause I got the video player that's hooked up to my sound system in my gym. But sometimes, like in between sets, I might look at the video playing. Yeah, some shit. He's on some demon shit. The video was edited crazy, but he put like a red cross in the beginning of the video on his forehead. And then he had like the satanic star on the floor and everything. And the edit was wild. Like there was a part where he floated up off the ground and shit. I was just like, yeah, that's scary. You got a lot of conspiracy theory type of people that's going to use that and be like, oh, there goes that Illuminati Satanism type of stuff in the hip hop world. People's going to love to see a video like that, right? But yeah, EST Gee, I'm catching up on him right now, man. I really am. All right. What does it say? The guy that copy machine has ops and human resources. Yeah, it's all news to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm catching up. But yeah, shout out to EST Gee. I'm gonna be listening to his music in the gym for the next couple of days or whatever. I'm fucking with his shit. I might have a guest that comes on with me. That's why I got Zay in the title. Shout out to Zay. That's on the May 6th card. He's the on-site battle versus Jay Breed. That'll be uploaded with the VOD. That'll be the 10th battle that all the people that got the live pay-per-view and then start replaying it back after Saturday's live stream ends. And y'all are gonna see the on-site battle. Zay versus Jay Breed. From the last card, the on-site battle that we did was Jay Murder versus Jay Jeans. Ruin your day. I need my battle. I want to show people the on-site battle from the last event. It's time for us to drop that. Shout out to everybody that got their live pay-per-view. Once again, May 6th is going down. Go to rarebreedent.com to get your live pay-per-view, or go directly to rapgrid.com to get your live pay-per-view for May 6th. It's about to get crazy. It's about to get epic. Everybody's asking me for the face-off. Okay. So now that we're in quick battle rap mode, just real quick, I think I'm going to drop the face-off tonight. I gotta see what time me and King Los go live today. I'm also gonna go live today this afternoon with Easy to Block Captain. Shout out to Easy to Block. I think I'll be back sometime like maybe around like 2:00-ish or something like that with Easy. Shout out to Easy to Block. Somewhere between now and then or whatever, I'm supposed to be having a live with King Los. I don't know if that's gonna get pushed off to maybe tomorrow or something. Damn, like 4 drops on the channel today, 3 lives possibly in a face-off. I'm doing too much, huh? And this is why y'all see this title right here, Sorry It's True 18. Because I'm like, man, if I don't get back in my Sorry It's True bag, my Sorry It's True shit is going to be pushed all the way until after May 6th. And it's like, nah, man, I got to worry about my shit too. Like my podcast, my little podcast, man. So yeah, stay tuned today. We got more going on after this live right here. Like I said, this afternoon, I should have Easy on, possibly King Los. And tonight, we probably will be dropping the Murder Move versus Big K face-off, all right? So stay tuned, stay subscribed. All right, let's get into these topics real quick for episode 18. So I've been a real big fan of the Trap Lore channel, right? Does anybody know in the chat who Trap Lore is? That YouTube channel? The man does amazing content. The man really, really does a lot of homework, and I know he pulls some of his resources from other YouTube. So before y'all jump in my chat and be like, "Yo, there's this other Chicago channel that he gets a lot of his information from," I've already heard that. I've already seen that. You know what I'm saying? But when you're a journalist and you're not making shit up, you got to go to different places regardless to put the fucking information together. So I get it. But he does a lot of homework. Trap Lore. His editing is top notch. The way he brings about tweets and news articles and clips and satellite footage and interview footage and all types of stuff, even him narrating it, going in and out of him on the screen and everything, and panning his cameras and everything. Great camera work, great editing, great. He produces amazing content. And I think that's another reason why you don't see him upload super frequent anymore, because I think it takes him a lot of time to put these videos together. And rightfully so. The last one that he just dropped, it's probably almost 1 million views already. And I think the video was up, then it came down for whatever reason, maybe he had some YouTube issues or something like that. And then he put it back up, and like in a span of like a day or so, or whatever, it's almost like 1 million views already. And for those that know what I'm talking about, it's in the title, the King Von documentary. That's not the name of the title on his channel. The name of the title on his channel is King Von, the first hip hop serial killer, or something like that, I believe. And I didn't want to put that title on my shit because YouTube be funny sometimes. I don't want to have serial killer in my title and have a problem. But I want to know if anybody in the chat has seen it. King Boog, I see what you're talking about. Chicago Scene 88. Salute. Anybody in the chat see this King Von documentary by the Trap Lore channel, depicting King Von as hip hop's first serial killer? It's about a 3-hour documentary. Amazing footage. And I got Zay joining way too early. Way too early. So I'm just gonna bring him in and I'm gonna talk about the joint with him. Actually, I saw him jump out. All right. So Zay, yeah, after this topic, probably whatever I'll bring you. I don't know if you dropped out, you had an issue, but all right, back to this King Von shit. Thoughts of Sand said, I've seen it. It's amazing. It's 3 hours. It's 3 hours. Fearless Speaks. The documentary is amazing. Trap Lore, Ross, the GOAT when it comes to hip hop docs. A lot of people in this chat know what I'm talking about. Okay. Shout out to y'all. This documentary was so well put together, so good, so sad, so disturbing, so scary. It's a mixed pot of emotions for me watching that documentary. A mixed pot of emotions. The whole chat seems like they seen it. Look at this. James says it's fire. The Science says seen it. Shout out to everybody. All right. Everybody's in the loop. I had a mixed bag of emotions watching this damn documentary. There's a lot of hearsay, she say, of course. There's not a hardcore evidence that just flat out says all of those things that were depicted in the documentary are automatically fact or true. But Jesus, the way that it's put together, you got to assume that a lot of it could be very, very realistic, right? Do I believe that King Von is a murderer? Oh man, if you force me to just say yes or no, ARP, my answer is yes. All right, my answer is yes. Stuff like that actually adds to a lot of rappers' appeal. Unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. Look at 50 Cent. Get Rich or Die Trying went diamond because of the allure around him. Is he going to get shot again? Is he going to die? He's doing performances, bulletproof vests. He's got these ops from his neighborhood and Supreme and all that. And the Ghetto Quran song and talking about where he's from and all that. And it's a lot, right? Record labels eat that shit up. And King Von, early on, I think he got some of his appeal to him because of the stuff he was putting out there, stuff that he was associating himself with. Of course, he had that local cosign within Chicago. I assume that a lot of people was like, yeah, he's really that. And then, Lil Durk comes, helps him get further and further and more out there, more and more popular. And he's rapping about these stories. And then obviously here comes the True Story songs that blows up and all this type of stuff. And then we start to hear from the other side, his actual ops that say, yeah, we want to kill him, blah, blah, he wants to kill us and all that. And we see how the story ends. He ends up losing his life in Atlanta from an unrelated situation, but kind of related when it comes to his lifestyle. FBG Duck, he lost his life in a popular area of Chicago. And allegedly all his killers that were heavily associated on and off cam from the same neighborhood as King Von, whether he was the one that really put $100,000 on him or not, whatever the case may be, they're all in jail right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that they were convicted yet, but they're all in jail. You know what I mean? But one thing that really, really stands out to me for this documentary, right? Because you got certain people that they live that lifestyle, they get into that type of life, gang wars, shootings, and all that type of stuff. And we know that like King Von isn't the first to live that type. There's a million people that never rapped that have lived that same lifestyle and got more bodies than allegedly King Von, right? Whether you stay on a gang side and the urban side of things, or whether you go to the mafia side of things, look at the Iceman. What's the body count that they put on his name for the Iceman? You know what I'm saying? Or some of these notorious hitmen from the mafia. What about Sammy the Bull? Call him a snitch if you want. Yeah, I mean, he did. He told. But the man got how many bodies that he claimed, let alone the ones that we probably don't know about, right? So we've seen, heard of serial killers that are hardcore murderers that are factual, right? This is just the first time we're seeing something like this in hip hop that we know about, and that's really, really broken down, and that people truly, truly believe. But what really, really shocked me about this, and actually, when I think about it more, I'm not shocked, and that's my problem with it. The amount of self snitching that King Von did. Oh my God. Anybody that hasn't seen that 3-hour documentary on the Trap Lord channel, please go watch it, because he did so much homework and he pulls up so many of King Von's old tweets, it's crazy. He's actually tied to a lot of alleged murders simply from his Twitter activity, where somebody, like police reports could say that, let's say hypothetically somebody was gunned down at 1:34 a.m. and he's tweeting at 1:37 a.m. before anybody could really know about what happened, and he's tweeting got another one, like shit like that, for example. You know what I'm saying? And his Twitter, it's like, I know people, we commonly say, how do people become like this? Because we're all born as let's say a bowl of clay. We're all born like that, right? You take some of these kids overseas that get on camera or whatever, and they're burning American flags and saying death to Americans and all that type of shit. You think they born like that? I don't even know what America is. Same thing with these little racist kids. These racist people that's black, Hispanics. Well, let's say a white skinhead or a white Ku Klux Klan member. Look at the look at the movie American History X. These people are created. They showed the depictions of him as a kid and how his father had input in that. The neighborhood comes in, the surroundings come in, of course. These situations are created. These monsters or these people or these attitudes or these beliefs are absolutely created after birth. They're created, right? So as much as we could look at the surroundings, Wick City, which then became Old Block and all that type of stuff of where King Von grew up, because he said, like, at first he was just a little kid. By the time he started going to school, fist fights turned into carrying guns to school. Next thing you know, the gangbang and this and that, boom, boom, and you're a hardcore killer after that, right? That documentary, one thing that I walked away with was a clear indication that it's not only and always just your surroundings. It's not just that. It's not just that. Especially in today's era, King Von was heavily influenced into becoming what he became before his music really took off. Even though they show in this documentary, he still did a lot of that shit after his career was taken off. But a lot of it was simply attention. That's it. That is that is one of the key ingredients to how King Von turned out to be who he was. In my opinion, after seeing that doc, I'm telling y'all gotta go watch that shit. I know it's 3 hours long. Watch it in a couple parts if you need to. I watched it in like three different sittings. You gotta watch this shit and see how much snitching, self gratification, bragging, and all that. If he didn't have a public audience, would he be doing as much? Let's say no matter what his surroundings or what he was around, and maybe he really did get off in certain things. You know what I'm saying? As was depicted by a serial killer, because as soon as the documentary started, one thing that they did geniusly, Trap Lord did, was define a serial killer. Define it. Let's define what a serial killer really is. It's more than just somebody that kills a string of people. There's psychology involved. Some people actually get off by it, right? And what he was doing on Twitter, the get off factor, right, shows how much attention played a role in what he continued to do. Nobody ever took this man's Twitter account. I don't even know how he tweeted the way that he tweeted for that many years without getting arrested for just probably, I don't want to say probable cause. Probable cause ain't probably the right term. Just to be investigated. Just simply to be investigated. Phyllis Speak says those Twitter posts prove crime is allowed in Chicago. Yo, Phyllis Speaks, that is a scary statement you just made. Want to know why? Because it's so logical. That is a scary, thank you for the super chat. That is a scary statement you just made. Those Twitter posts prove crime is allowed in Chicago. That is scary. Because I never watched that documentary and had that thought right there. Wow. If I'm the police commissioner of that police department, local police department to Wick City and Old Block and all that, and all the way down the block, it was probably still the same circumference, right? Probably a similar precinct. Or the mayor. Wow. That documentary probably pisses me off. Because we can see it. Look at that. Look at that. You just fucked me up, Phyllis Speaks. The amount of the adrenaline rush, I think that King Von got from other people knowing the shit that he was doing, even today, right? The terminology of the scoreboard, up the score on them, check the count, we up, y'all losing, we winning. All the sports analogy, right? That is used today by the youngins out there, or the people out there that's currently supposedly, allegedly, and you hear it in a lot of people's music. Shout out to Albie Out. He raps that shit a lot too. Check the scoreboard, we winning, right? Scoreboards are meant to be seen. Just think about the concept of it. Whether you're in a big football stadium, whether in a basketball gym, go to a game, scoreboard is up there for the whole arena to see. Think about this as a concept, y'all. It's up there for the whole arena to see. The Lakers score 2 points or 3 points or 4 points, go up on the board, right? Right. You know, the opposing teams, let's use the Timberwolves, we're talking recent shit, right? Timberwolves scored, put another 2 points or whatever up on the board, and everybody could look up and see the score. It's for everybody. It's public. It's not private. He wanted people, even the comparing of how many bodies y'all got. He got songs about that. How many bodies y'all got? I got more than you. He has lives asking fans publicly, how many bodies do y'all think I got? And you could see it in his lives and in this documentary, the tendency that he says, I'm just playing so much so that he can use that as an out to talk the shit on live publicly that he wants to talk and then laugh and just say, no, I'm just playing. He does it a lot in his documentary. And those lives that are being shown, how many bodies y'all think I got? Nah, that's more than 5. Nah, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. Nah, you're not. You're not. It's clear that you're not. It's clear that you want to get this information off. You want everybody to look up and be able to see the scoreboard. Attention, Instagram, live, and Twitter. How many of us would not have these issues if we didn't feel like they were being carried out for public consumption, whether it's in the form of the pressure because people are watching, or the pressure that just naturally comes from being an attention seeker? How many of these situations wouldn't exist? The side of it when you just got a lot of people looking, that's the side of it that's just pride and ego. And I have that sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody says something about me publicly, I don't be wanting to call them on the phone. Sometimes I want to address them publicly because you have people looking at me crazy, right? A lot of us fall victim to it. Understand that side. Ego and pride is a mother. You know what I'm saying? I would never let my pride and ego go to the lens though of real beef or physicalities on the internet. Ever. You never see me on the internet calling somebody, out their name in a form of like I'm trying to beef with them or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like that's not for social media. And I don't really walk around with that type of energy. I don't want that type of karma. I don't want that type of reputation with people. I don't want to leave that type of legacy. When y'all go back through my lives or my blogs or my anything like that, I don't ever want people to look at me and be like, yo, ARP was a troublemaker. Nah. ARP was a stand-up solid guy. He's a cool guy. And he did way more for people than people may know. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather that legacy, a reputation, and history of RBE and myself to leave behind. You know what I mean? But the attention side of it is something I absolutely do not have. I do not have the attention side at all. I'll get on camera I wore this sweater on camera probably 50 times. I wear the same fucking hat sometimes, a bummy ass Target t-shirt. Well, not bummy, but you get what I'm saying. I don't be caring about the attention. I do what I need to do to promote because I understand that I'm a figure in battle rap. I understand my voice carries in battle rap. I understand who I am in battle rap. I'm gonna be outside and promote and build all these subscribers for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But attention, I'm well past that. I enjoyed it when I was King Von's age, like high school years and shit. I definitely enjoyed it. And we didn't have Twitter and Instagram when I was in high school. And it makes you think like, damn, like would some of us be getting into that much more shit? But back to Vaughn and the serial killer side, though, I do believe that the elements and his own mentality and lust for it played a huge part. But Jesus Christ, he was an attention seeker, and that documentary depicts him as a self-snitching person on a million. And for him to be able to tweet like that, do lives like that, and talk like that for as long as he did around real murders and situations and crime scenes is amazing. Is amazing. Twitter played a big part in King Von becoming who he became. Go check out that documentary on the King on the Trap Law channel, y'all. Scary shit. Scary shit. I appreciate that, J. Cole. Thank you. All right. I'll move on. I know Zay popped in and popped out. I was gonna try to catch him in between topics. So I'm gonna move on to the next one real quick. Maino. Let's talk about Maino. Maino's name got hot. I don't know if it's I don't keep up on all the shit day to day, but I seen enough. I think I could kind of group China Mac and Maino in the same topic here. So the thing about shout out to You Tried It. In the 90s, kids still cared about what their parents and grandparents thought about them. Yeah, that's true. I see Troy Ave comments coming in. I see Treehouse says Maino versus Whack WrestleMania. Well, I did see the live that China Mac was talking to Whack 100, and then Maino came on. He was screaming, "Let's get to it! Let's get to it! Let's stop all this! Let's just get to it! Fuck you! Fuck your family! Let's get to it!" I did see that, and I see is ECIC says Troy Ave rat. I mean, tell us something that we don't know as far as how the streets is going to categorize you once you take the stand and once you tell on somebody else, anything involving a crime. Tell us something that we don't know. We know that. We know that, folks. Like, we know what Troy Ave did. We know what 6ix9ine did. I ain't got no energy towards them. I don't care what they do in their life. It doesn't affect me. I'm not around them. I'm not trying to be around them. I'm not around their circles. I'm not where they at. I watch them from the outside looking in, whether it's in the form of me learning, being hip, being entertained, whatever the case may be. I don't do I don't carry the energy like, yo, 6ix9ine is a fucking rat. Like, I don't care. I know what he is, but I'm gonna walk around like that. I got better things on my mind and in my emotions and in my energy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't carry that like personally. It's not. I don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? Like what I do, that nigga ain't taking personal. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's living his life. I'm living mine. But we all know what these people did. Okay. Um, there's nowhere around what they did. But here's the thing with Maino and China Mac. Two guys that I think many of us here in the chat have a lot of respect for. I have a lot of respect for them as well. I don't know either one of them personally. I don't know either one of them. Um, y'all know me. Those that do know me, I'm a New Yorker. And Maino was always somebody, is still to this day, somebody that gets a lot of respect in New York, gets a lot of respect outside of New York too. Is looked at as one of those guys that stands on shit. He's got a background to him. You know, he came home with a reputation. He started rapping. He was on a DVD wave, you know, and all that type of stuff. We got a little bit to learn a little bit more about him and all that type of stuff. Oh, look at the stuff he's been through. You know, so he's got that reputation. Fast forward today, it's a way more cleaner presentation. Of course, he's more successful now. His name's bigger than his obviously when he first came on the scene. And China Mac, what do we know China Mac from? Initially for me, you know, his situation with Jin. I thought it was dope that him and Jin did a sit down together. I know Jin personally. Jin stays in Staten Island a lot. So a lot of times me and Jin would cross paths, you know what I'm saying? You know, talk, chop it up real quick, whatever. So I know Jin, but China Mac I don't know. And you know, that situation, we've seen interviews about it. We've seen them talk about it. We've seen China Mac on Vlad break down the situation and everything. And then I'm definitely in tune with some of China Mac's music. Some of it we promoted it on the channel before. This was back when YouTube didn't have a problem with us playing music. If y'all go back to some of our old trailers, you see us playing RJ Payne, you see us playing G Unit, you see us playing some of the Philly scene mixtape music, you see us playing China Mac, you see us playing Rick Ross, like the Rare Breeds card with Mook versus Verb. You know, when we dropped that VOD release, the trailer was Rick Ross, The Summer's Mine, because we took over the whole summer and fall of promotion for that whole year when we dropped that card. So we played The Summer's Mine, The Summer's Mine. I'm buying 10 bottles, bitch. I'm nothing not all that shit. Like this is where you could play music on YouTube, no flags. So I'm very aware of China Mac as well. Fast forward, Maino seems to continue to be like a industry guy, a rapper, reality TV, all type of shit. That's dope. Um, China Mac, I think most notably now, you know, like the Mac Talk. He's doing podcasting. He's doing a lot of it. He's into internet content. Let's just flat what RB is into internet content, whether it's in the form of battle rap, me podcasting, me doing topics, whatever the case may be. China Mac is into internet content now. All dope. It's dope to see some of all of us with some of the backgrounds that we have continue to get in spaces where we can be successful and stay the fuck out of trouble. I thought it was super, 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 super sturdy and commendable to see like when China Mac and AD had their issue, instead of that becoming way something that didn't have to become, they linked up in private and caught a fade. No footage out, no nothing. They just walk away from that and become friends after they've done content together after that. That is so dope. Shout out to AD and China Mac for that, man. But one thing that's becoming a little apparent when it comes to China Mac and Maino these days that I think is detracting from their reputation a little bit is I think they're getting a little bit too much internet. When I say that, it doesn't mean that Maino doesn't give it up. It doesn't mean that China Mac doesn't give it up. I'm gonna start with Maino. When I see Maino do a video, you know, about the Troy Ave chain, saying, yo, I held on to this for 6 years and I have these questions, and I know you ain't a problem for me because you can never be a problem for me and all that. Like, I know he's saying that you don't have a problem with Troy Ave, and of course the verdict and everything turning around with tax owner. It's all tied to this, you know, with Maino being there and his girlfriend getting shot that night and all that type of stuff, and whether him and Troy Ave were saying little sneak disses to each other over the years, or whatever the case may be, while tax owner was in jail and all these details came about what happened in Irvington Plaza. I'm pretty sure they have their own little personal way that they look at each other. But the Mainos of the world and the China Max of the world, I never really looked at as people that would bring that level of drama or beef to the internet or to video. And I think it almost ties to the King Von topic that we just said, where the internet and Twitter and social media and lives and all that is so infectious that these people are starting to water down what makes them who they really are, and water down their street codes and their ethics and their principles to bring now some of that stuff to content. Maino, whether whether you could look at that as like, that's my belongings, or whether you look at that as you're inciting beef directly or indirectly by holding up my belongings, because especially in New York, I know it's worldwide at this point, but it's especially in New York, it kind of started there, of the reputation of or the meaning, I should say, of how important it was to not lose your chain to somebody else. That's worldwide now, but in New York, you go back like 10 years or whatever, and when it really got hot, it was like symbolism. It was just like, yo, you're kind of like cast out the hood, or if somebody else got your chain. This is why the whole mentality of I'll die for my chain started. Even me coming up in New York through that era, I still disagreed with it. I asked my boy Reem one time, Reem, I'm throwing you on the spot right now. My man Reem, he's got a chain, given to him from his father. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Mr. Mountcastle. Love you. And I asked him one time, I said, you would die for that chain? He said, yeah. And I argued with him. I said, you think your father would want that? You know what I'm saying? Because he was being real aggressive about it. So I asked him, you know what I mean? And that mentality is rampant, especially in the hip hop world, because the ops or the other person will get on camera and dangle your chain and be like, I got you, the G Unit chain. You know what I'm saying? Remember that? Young Buck supposedly lost the G Unit chain and all of that. It was big news. The Young Berg chain going, the Transformer shit, the Decepticon shit going on tour. I was surprised even Trick was probably the realest person about addressing a fucking chain situation. But he addressed it. Trick ain't the guy that really does the camera shit like that. He's real old school with it, but he still got on camera to address the shit, right? So back to Maino, it's just like, regardless of why he has that chain, I just don't really expect that from Maino. I don't expect him to do anything related to any type of beef or that can become serious because of how much it means to have somebody's chain. I just don't expect him to do that on camera. And the same thing with China Mac. These are both guys that have a lot of credibility and have very strong and solid reputations. China Mac, I'm starting to see right now where it just feels like you're doing a lot of things for content. And I never really expected that from two guys like that. It's just my opinion. No disrespect. I fuck with those two guys. No disrespect. I just never saw that. Like, I see the recent videos now, China Mac and Troy Ave going back and forth now. So I see things like China Mac going to like Troy Ave or his block or whatever, and like putting up a camera and say, I'm out here on the block at night eating or whatever, and going back and forth. They're kind of like dissing each other, and it's the type of energy where if they cross paths, they would have to do something. But at that point, it's like, this is content, because China Mac, it's like you're doing these things and they're going upload straight to your channel, monetized content, beefing content. Let's call a spade. Beefing content, monetizing beef. Troy Ave does it too. I went to his YouTube channel. He's in full monetized, capitalize on anything mode. Maino said something about me, put a video up, promote my song in the beginning, promote a new video at the end, talk about Maino, blah, blah, blah. Part of me almost doesn't want to put Troy Ave in the same bucket, because it's just like, I kind of expect that of him. He has his track record, and he's clearly in content mode. China Mac and Maino, though, way more sturdy individuals as far as my expectations of what they will bring the camera or not. Maino's, of course, didn't come off like a monetized situation. Maino's came off like, all right, I want to address this guy, and I also got a trump card. I'm gonna pull out this chain in the meantime, and I'm gonna ask some questions. China Mac, your situation looks like it's content. It's content driven. And I think the expectations for these two guys is way stronger than that. I'm going to continue to watch it from the outside looking in of China Mac and Maino and Troy Ave and this whole shit. Because once again, for us, it ends up being, that's what's so fucked up. Some of us get into real shit. We got real stuff going on. It becomes everybody else's entertainment, right? So it's just like, for me, I learn from it. I talk about it here myself. That's content, right? I'm not invested in it personally. So when you're not invested in something personally, who are we kidding? Then you must be invested in it either from a learning standpoint, just keeping yourself in a loop standpoint, or a form of entertainment, right? That's, who are we kidding? Who are we kidding? But I just don't expect that from those guys. I don't expect that. And if I'm gonna be real about the whole chain thing with Maino, it is odd to hold on to that chain for 6 years and then bring it out and say, I didn't know if I was gonna have to say something about this or whatever. That is a little weird. You know what I'm saying? Would I do something like that? No. Well, I'm not into that type of lane or lifestyle anyway. So if I had somebody chain, if I found somebody chain or somebody gave it to me and it was related to some type of beef or some type of situation, I'm either gonna give it back, I'm gonna give it to somebody else. There's no need for me to keep it because there's nothing that I care about in my life about somebody else's chain. Nothing. Nobody else's chain will ever be a trophy to me. Ever. That's my life. I don't have that mentality anymore at all. Like, oh, this person, yeah, I got it. Like, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? So maybe some people would say that at this point in your life, then, hey, you can't relate. But maybe me and Mano might be around the same fucking age. Mano's not young, and neither the fuck am I. You know what I'm saying? So I could say that then. I could be like, Mano, we see you come from the bottom. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be out here at this point screaming on Whack 100 on live, or you shouldn't be out here doing a blog about Troy Ave's chain, you know, at this point in your career, given who you are, which is a man of respect, and given who you are as a man of integrity, and given the fact that that can be related to crimes and beef. And the same goes for China Mac. I don't think China Mac is as old as Maino, but China Mac's not a kid. And China Mac's been behind them walls. He's been in situations. He knows what it is to move around. He knows what the streets is about. So China Mac also should know better than this ain't what we do on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Because if any of these people cross paths, I don't think many of us doubt that something's got to happen, right? Because of the type of energy that they're putting on the internet. And then you're the first to get locked up. There is no like, oh, don't snitch or let's keep it in the streets. You've already taken it out the streets and put it in documentary format by chronicling the issues that you people are having. It's no different than what just happened with Taxstone and Troy Ave. And now if I use that within itself, if a China Mac or a Maino or anybody looks at a Troy Ave and says, you're gonna tell. You've been saying the streets is a myth and you're gonna save yourself, and he's got songs, Dear Hater, I Won, and all that, and on a courthouse that he just won his case from, and whatever that. If that's how you guys look at him, right? Yet I'm pretty sure if I can see it from the outside looking in, I know that you guys can see it. If you guys cross paths with him or people that he probably has real close to him, something can possibly happen. So you're setting yourself up to be the next Taxstone. And I'm not even trying to say that Taxstone was right or wrong. I wasn't there. But thank God I wasn't there. I don't know what the fuck happened in that room. We hear things that came out in court, but we understand that stuff that comes out in court isn't necessarily true too. All right. Witnesses lie, all types of shit. But whatever happened in that room, one thing that is a fact is that Troy Ave was an alleged self-proclaimed street person, and he's now broken those street codes. Okay. And y'all, China Mac and Maino, are calling him a rat. So who the fuck wants to beef on the internet in a documented sense with a rat, knowing that if you cross paths, something has to happen? It's almost as dumb to me as these guys that went into LA Fitness where you got cameras everywhere and jumped on 6ix9ine. All three of them in jail now. So China Mac and Maino, like, how smart is that? Chronicling and documenting beef with somebody that y'all call a rat. I don't understand it. The only justification I have for it is similar to the King Von thing. the need and the pride and the ego to get in front of the public, right? Hopefully it's not the thrill of attention, but also the content side of it. Because China Mac, you're chronicling it on your channel. It's like it looks like content money. I would love to do a joint right here with China Mac or Maino. I would love to have them on. I really would. I really would. I would love to ask that question and see their response. Like why are you chronicling and purposefully doing content for what you can consider a possible street beefing, or tense situation that is really supposed to go there if y'all cross paths, the way that y'all are acting towards each other, right? I would love to ask that question because I think that these guys know that code, especially as it relates to the internet. So why put this in? If I had to justify it, I would say that maybe those guys are so solid that, and the stuff that they stand on, they don't give a fuck. And at the drop of a dime, they'd be willing to throw it all away, knowing that what they've put on the internet is a document. Maybe that's it. Maybe for their pride or their principles or their morals, they're willing to say, I just crossed paths with Troy Ave. I did what I did. We did what they did, or whatever the case may be. Even if nobody lost their life or whatever, but shots went off or what, I'm pretty sure this scene is going to be fucking interrogated by detectives and whatnot. If they come knock on my fucking door, I'm not going to say nothing. They're going to sit me down. Next thing I know, I'll be the next Shine because I didn't say nothing, but there's cameras that I was there and they see me retreating and they need somebody and they got me. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody want to praise Shine so much, and I do too, right? We read even the Double XL interview. Even that man refused to say what his ops in front of him was doing. He just, all I know is it wasn't my bullets. All I know is I did what I had to do. He refused to even say what his enemies were doing that would possibly provoke him to do what he did. Shine was like, I don't want to say anything close to what y'all might interpret to be a rat. And he served all that time and was it extradited? You know what I'm saying? Was it Trinidad or whatever? You know what I mean? Fast forward all them years, his ass gets back next to fucking Diddy and we're best friends. We'll shake hands and do music again, right? So are you willing to go through that over a situation with somebody that you guys are already calling a rat? Are you willing to go through that because y'all cross paths or because you're chronicling beef on YouTube or on Instagram Live? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't So I don't claim to have no beef with nobody at that level. If I have disagreements with people, that's cool. We all human. I have disagreements with loved ones. Nothing wrong with having disagreements, even if certain disagreements feel aggressive or if they even feel like they're very, very strong disagreements. That's cool. I don't see me carrying none of that. You ain't gonna catch me cutting on no camera talking about I want to see somebody like this or fuck you bitch ass nigga. Wait till I see you or whatever. Or yo, I'm on his block right now or I got his chain right now. That's all beef shit. Regardless whether it's content or not, the other side now has to react to that if you have cross paths. And you got another tax stone and Troy Ave situation. I just don't get it. I just don't look at China Mac and Maino as two people that would do that or not be smarter than that. That's all. Sean got millions for that. I don't know what he got. Sean is a prime minister now. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Sean. That's dope. Are you guys in the chat insinuating that he traded or he indirectly substituted years and years of his freedom for money? Because you can't put a price on my freedom. So I hope that's what you guys ain't insinuating. I hope not. You know what I'm saying? So, and why is our culture so fixated on snitching and gang culture, such low vibration? Because the streets are always going to be attractive. Crime is always going to, this is American culture. This is American entertainment. Even our heroes are violent. Just think about what's embedded in our brains. I could use something that's like comic book. I could use like Avengers, right? Just think about how deep it goes running through American culture, American entertainment. Even the little kids that we allow play with like the Hulk or Iron Man. We watch some of these movies, they still resolve their problems with violence. Whether it's comic book shit or not, it's still resolving their problems with violence, right? So now transform what we've already been groomed to enjoy from little kids of violent behavior and knowing how this is how we solve our problems. Whatever. Now incorporate that into like the real gritty gutter street element, something that many people that consume that type of content are not close to. That's what makes 50 Cent go diamond. That's what makes us say, oh, this rapper got shot. That's what makes us say, yo, what's Lil Durk rapping about? Because it could be a real crime that he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes Trap Lord's channel so big. That's what blew up DJ Academics with the Warren Chirac shit. It's American culture. It's America's ways. We love it. We're drawn to it. Scarface is a classic. Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, these all classics. Some of the best scenes and most impactful scenes for these fucking movies and what we deem as our part of our culture are murder scenes and criminal activity and whatnot. Some of y'all learn how to cook up from watching movies. You didn't learn in the trap. Some of y'all learn how to load and unload guns from watching movies, not from handling guns or going to the range. This is American culture. This is American culture. I'm a part of it too. I'm not a hypocrite. I fell victim to it. I've gotten into shit within the same culture. I'm not making no excuses. I've made my own decisions. I've done things that if I could take back, I would. But I'll be damned if I get to this point in my life, aka a China Mac or a Maino, and still think like that. Still have that type of behavior or mentality, even if I'm just slipping for the moment. Because that's what I think they are. I don't think these guys are stupid or ignorant people. I think they're just slipping with the stuff they're doing right now. I just think they're slipping. But snitching is a part of it. Snitching is a part of street or criminal activity. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to just be our hood or urban. You know, like I go to the mafia side of things. We mentioned Sammy the Bull already, right? Like snitching is a part of street and crime because there's always going to be the judicial system. There's always going to be government. We live in a democracy. You don't want that, you have to leave America. So you live in a democracy, you live under a government, you live under the land's laws, right? You have something called a court system, all right? These court systems play all these games. They have all these laws and all these rules, and people come in and out of these situations, these systems. Some of it is even systemic. Look at the super we had earlier about crime being allowed in Chicago. Anybody that missed that, go back when we talk about that. That was the King Von piece. Okay? So forget the word snitch. Snitch, because like we said, people are infatuated by it. So telling is part of the whole system. It's just the judicial system or the government or law wanting information that they don't have. That's cut and dry. Wanting information that they don't have. Who did it? Who's doing it? Who's the leader? Who's the king? Who was here? Who was there? Who wasn't there? It's just wanting information. That's what it comes down to. And it's all tied to crime. Because if these authority figures were there for the main purpose that we've all been told that they're there for, which is to provide and protect, if they're truly only there for that, right, then anything that goes against that, it's their job to find out why something or someone went against that law or that providing and protecting, right? Now, I know anybody that believes that that's the only reason that they're there is naive, but I'm still making a point about how you end up with the snitching and then the snitching infatuation, because it's all tied to crime, which is American culture. Go back to bootlegging days or whatever. It's crime is in our country's bloodstream. It's in the country's DNA. Whether you, how deep do you want to get? You want to go back and start talking about stolen land and shit? Like, how far do you guys want to go? You know what I'm saying? Like, how far do y'all want to go? That's why implementing Fed Now in June and CBDC is next. The government wants, let me scroll up, wants our info. The government's been getting our info. I've literally sent or received screenshots from people. Like, let's say somebody sends me a screenshot like, yo, I'm at the restaurant or yo, I'm in this store. They got this basketball. Let me know if you want me to pick one up. Right? Send me a screenshot. Then I go get on Instagram and I start getting ads about trying to sell me a basketball. It's all linked. The database that the what Facebook and Google and the social media, all this information is sold. Even battle rap platforms, right? How do you think these platforms make money off of the impressions and that type of data that's collected? You know how important this type of data is for marketing and for money. Like this whole country and this whole world revolves around a dollar. Now, what important is to know that this person right here that's scrolling his Instagram is between the age of 25 and 45, is male, female, is into hip hop, not into hip hop, wears size 11, and probably is interested in this. And then how many companies want that information to then market to and provide their ads towards? It's all data that is sold. It's creating billions of dollars behind our eyes, whether we know it or not. You go log onto some of these sites, whether it's from in the form of your cookies or the profile that you create. That data 9 times out of 10 is sellable because those little terms of service that none of us read and we click the checkbox and we sign up, got you. I'll be back soon, probably with Easy the Block Captain, maybe with King Los and Murder Mook versus Big K face off tonight. Damn, we was talking, man. Shout out to Maino, shout out to China Mac, man. Tighten up, yep, man. Y'all gonna put yourselves in jail. And none of us expect that from you guys. You guys have always had the perception of being sturdy and New Yorkers. So I got like a little personal thing to like, yo, our New York reps, like, come on, man. That ain't y'all. And that King Ron documentary, if y'all missed that part of this live, please go back and watch it. I think it's important. And go watch that documentary on the Trap Lord channel. Genius work, scary work, very insightful. And try to look at some of this stuff and don't just be the kid out there that's like, oh, you kill it. Oh, this happened. Oh, yo, his eyes. Like, see some of the stuff and learn how to keep, the kids in your neighborhood from being involved in some of that stuff. Learn how to keep yourself and your loved ones away from that shit. And hopefully it just spreads. Try to take the good from the bad. You know what I'm saying? I watched that documentary and it gives me a harsh reality of Twitter and attention and some of the things that I want me and my loved ones to avoid. So it is definitely informational and informative to somebody like me, but it's also entertaining. So go check it out. Damn, I don't know if this was a depressing episode or not, but everybody take care of themselves, man. Let's do our best, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'll be back ASAP.